or deep chart with the dice is different from, yeah, they're all different. I mean, none of them are going to be the same as Jigsaw for sure, man. What? And no firm offers Jigsaw or Dom, by the way, for free at least. You're gonna have to buy it if you want to use it, Jigsaw Dom. Okay, you send a message to them. Cool. If they consider it, special offer and add a monthly subscription. Have you used Squad Tower? You have, right? Mm. very rotational behavior. I don't know if we're gonna break out today, or at least within the session. The overnight high and low is is in between the prior day high and low. Overnight levels are exactly in the middle. So could we just be rotations today? Meaning we trade near the extremes, but we come back into VWAP until the NVIDIA earnings today. The screening from today's session says we as today is the possible balanced co-primary setup armed balanced inventory. The only one that's set up armed is the IVL world breakdown. So I'm just gonna be a little patient here today. I'm waiting it out. I scan on my journal or prep. Feel this. Everything's felt. It's also neutral. Low confidence day. Balance inventory. So I'll just kind of wait it out. Kind of wait for the idea to set, and then we'll see from there. Here's the profile as well. We open within prior balance right here. We open a little bit around here in the middle, and we're currently testing the value. We're hitting this area here, and this is the value level, which tested all night. So I think we're just waiting for a breakout, pretty much. Once they break out, come and get to this area here, or we break down. This is the next target. This is just about letting them take control. For today, just play the range or the extremes, fade them back in. He was near the flip. Interesting. Gamma levels, the Yankee is actually pretty close to the flip level. Huh. Again, just waiting for the IB to set because it is rotational. We'll see what happens. Meaning rotational in the sense that I don't have an expectation that we will break above overnight high, overnight low with continuation so far based on the scanner I have. In other words, today's expectation is that we will trade back away from the edges back into the center until probably NVIDIA earnings. We might just chop around this area. I'm waiting to see if I can fade an extreme once the IB is set, the initial balance. We really use Sierra, so The other one was. And it seems like they're containing it within this value area so far. A weekly value area. We came in this morning, we tested the top end of value. Right here near the end now. And 380. Same thing as this image. This is the top end of this, and then created back within. More information kind of supporting the idea that we're rotational today. Tape is stalled right here. What time is it? 7:08. See the tape right there? Just stuck right at that area right now. 390, it just paused. I don't know why that is. Weird. Gotta be news or something pending, because paused at 390 for a few ticks. Still early as well. Yeah, look, it's just paused here at 390. Weird. Not sure if you're still here, Mr. Jan, but you can configure a DOM with a DOM with the error chart. It'll be pretty similar if you look at them. I'll put them side by side. It's as close as I could get it when I configured it. I think they're pretty close to some degree. What I do like is that you can actually see price where VWAP is. And any other indicator you have overlaying. Can't really do that with Sierra, unfortunately. Or you may be able to. You can probably do it. Connected to a CSV file that maybe has that data. Pretty spread out voting today. Jigsaw, TradingView, Tradewrick, 1-1. Cool. Got like 20 minutes almost before the IB is set. TradingView. There's a way I can get the gamma levels directly to TradingView. Scanner was right. Scanner this morning said balanced mean reversion. So far, it faded off the high, the prior day high. Trying to break out above value. Right here. Back to VWAP. If the low end holds for reversion. It's momentum here. Buying news oriented. Maybe it. This out. Could be a fade the pop. Where's this? I don't really like it here because it's like middle of the range, but could be fade this pop kind of move. I won't touch it. Oh, it's squeezed over. We'll see if it trades 400s. I'll see if we can fade the edge. Maybe some sort of headline, probably with the market rate cuts. Says here, Patheon Macro sees Fed rate cuts summer. That might be part of a headline why the market's reacting here. Here's 400s. Okay, cool. Let's see. Pushing pretty good here. Yeah. If they can break the overnight high and fade. Hello. It's squeezing pretty hard. There's definitely some good news on this. My oh my. We'll see if it breaks below and holds below the priority high and overnight low. Otherwise, no trade. If they fade here, I'm gonna give it some time, but I like the reversion back to VWAP. Again, Q is trying to break out the overnight high. Apparently it's in a breakout phase. We'll see if it fades. I'll probably just wait till it gets below 405. If it comes back in. Right now it's in breakout mode. Right above the value area. I'm gonna wait to see if it fades below 405. And we'll take it to the center. 390s just for a small trade. IB is about to be set in like 9 minutes. It's fading here. I want to see a hole below 405. Ideally get a bounce first before I try anything, so something like this, like come here, a bounce, form a lower high, and then back to VWAP. Something like that. So I'll see if they can get a bounce here as they test 400s. let's see. Gotta set the IB here. Put a sell over here at fives. We'll put a stop. A little bit of that part is like, I don't know if it's gonna fade the IB or if it's going to take out the IB first and then fade. So we'll see. Do they fill me first? I have no idea. It's the hard part about this trade is that could fade, or it could take out the IB and then fade. Problem with that, I might size it down. It's only small size risk, but I don't like the setup that much. So I might just have to size it down. Instead of 5 lots, might be just 3. We'll see. I'll give it some time to play out here. Yeah, it's gonna be a quick move up, I guess, into the IB. It's likely gonna stop me out right here. Yeah, it's coming quick. It should have stopped me out right there. It ran the high, right? This trade should be closed here. I'm not sure why it hasn't. Sierra says we did not break the IB. Let's see. Huh. Says we didn't, but it should stop me. I don't know why it hasn't. Look at, we're hitting the IB right there. There you go. Okay. Took a loss there. That was quick. I was just telling me I'm wrong. We'll see if it fades here. This is the IB break now. See if this breaks from above or failed breakout. If not, then there's nothing here. The IB is set, so I don't know why this is still moving. Something's wrong on the IB. Why is it still moving? Yeah, 6:30, 7:30. The fuck? Huh, I don't know, the IB's not correct on this one right now. Same thing on this chart. Maybe 7:30. Huh, weird. It might be a continuation for breakout here. Do you only use Jigsaw? No. Jigsaw is the DOM, and then Sierra chart is this whole screen you're seeing. So I use 2 different softwares. The Sierra chart, and then the DOM is the one right here. What do you use currently? Again, the other trade here is the fade of the IBH, so I'll wait to see if we can get below it. It's currently on the DOM correct thing. Bookmap? Oh, okay. Oh. Or I didn't want to. Wait, no, I wasn't going. Did huh? For a short. There we go. Sell limit here, 24. And then we're going to get above where those sellers were on Tuesday or Monday. 35s. They filled me at 20. The data I have Denali feed with Sierra. So kind of similar to what you have with Bookmap. Denali feed with Sierra. Here's the fate of the IBH, essentially, is the trade. Like I said earlier, I probably should have just waited for the IB to form the break. But we'll target the neckline where we came from, and then VWAP for the rest of it. And then the stop loss is above where those sellers were on, I think, Monday, 35s. So it's Denali feed with Sierra, and then wait, what were we talking about? The data, sorry, the data. That I get on is with Sierra chart, and then on Jigsaw, it's routed over. So, but to get the Denali feed with Sierra, you need to have like an active brokerage account. Well, you don't have to, but it minimizes the cost. Is that how it is with Bookmap? The IB formed this one, but late. I gotta fix this one. I don't know why today it formed late. 7. The heck? 7:30. Oh, the clock is wrong. Behind by a few minutes. I have an active brokers and I trade directly on Bookmap still. Oh, okay. I don't think you'll be able. Yeah, I think you might be able to do that. I would look it up honestly, but I'm gonna do that with Sierra. I'm not sure if you're looking to trade into Sierra though. I didn't ask that. Were you looking to trade into Sierra charts or into Jigsaw? I guess I should have clarified that first. The fade is down 10 points now from that IBH fade. I should have just waited for the IB to form and then short instead of kind of front run the idea. You want to connect it. Jigsaw, let's see. Or structure. It's the Jigsaw doesn't have the same capabilities, or they're not as clean for the charting for Jigsaw. Jigsaw has great ADOM, which is why I keep it on my screen, but it does not unfortunately have a great charting software, at least not yet. So I like the configurability and the customization. Plus, it has everything I would like to see visually in one screen with Sierra Chart. So for the structure in specific, it just has more configurability in it. Just the features that it has are just more useful to me than what GXL offers. It does have a cleaner footprint chart on Jigsaw. It has a cleaner DOM. Depending on your taste, maybe the market profile might be a little better. But overall, like I would say for me, CRTR has more of the things I would like to have or use. You can't really customize Jigsaw. There's not much customization. Like the VWAP is anchored at midnight. You can't change the VWAP settings on it, which makes no sense to me at all. It's kind of ridiculous. They have it anchored at midnight, open every day for overnight, and it just goes full session. So there's some things that they just simply don't offer or have, which is just disappointing. But if you don't need that stuff, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, good questions. Good questions on the platform. They're holding yesterday's high. Might continue to rip. They're forming volume above yesterday's high. So here's yesterday's high, right there, 415. And we're stalling out right there. Point of control just shifted higher. So let's say that's pretty good for bulls. Oh, let's see they're forming volume above breakout. Pretty good for continuation, I would say. Oh. Day two. Willing to add a little risk. Times like not a quality trade. Lies up to. Decision. What I have. Anyway, the reason is I'm looking to fade the edge is the scan pretty much said we're likely to be in a balanced session, so that's the assumption right now. Before volume and structure currently how it's holding above parity high is not supporting that. So see if that plays out or not. This is balanced inventory today. Kind of goes for a neutral movement, meaning away from the edges. In this case would be IBH and IBL. I don't find enough value on book. Okay. I don't find value in the heat map either, but I people trade. I mean, just keep in mind that setting up Sierra chart, it does take some commitment. It takes a while to set up the platform because it is pretty bare bones when you open it. But with Jigsaw, it's pre-built already, so that does make it easy with Jigsaw. Sierra is like you gotta configure everything yourself. Oh yeah. Good question. Sierra or Jigsaw. I'm not sure which one you're leaning towards, but what data feed is Interactive Brokers? I can just look it up. Let me see. CME. Let me ask a better question, I guess. Thank you. Is it CQG? Thank you. Oh, God bless you. Thanks. What's up? How long you been trading? Like in general, like time frame wise, or do you mean like this morning? Assuming in general, what is it, 20s? Put it in this calculator. 8 years. 8 years. The data feed, is it C? I see it's CME, but is it like? I'm trying to see. Oh, I'm trying to find on Jigsaw which one is going to be the one you connect through before you. Let's see. It says it's this one. Rates Trading Technologies. That's not right. Oh, there you go. Interactive Broker. So they have their own tab. So for the connection, you just use your auto connect. It probably opens up a browser for you to auto connect to Interactive Brokers through IBTWS for your data feed. It's at the second, third tap of 415. So they keep testing from above parity high and just kind of holding. If it starts to fade below, I'm open to adding a little bit more than just dropping the stop loss down. Let's see, what would be 112. Okay. Let's see. And 450. Three more lots, so I'd be able to add 3 more lots. Breaks that, I'll add 3 more. But if it's not, then we'll tell. There's to break down below the parity low, fade down. I'll add 3 more lots and then drop the stop loss. Yeah, bulls are holding pretty well with their volume being built here above parity high. Not bad. This hold, it probably goes to 40s. 7,440. Around here. I'd personally think neutral, but hey, what I think doesn't matter. That's what I'm leaning on right now. So far, all the I mean, internally, if we're looking at all the stocks, the way they're performing and the internals, everything says we're trending. If we look above my screen here, you look at everything, it says we're trending. Everything's green, lined up for a bullish scenario, supporting the breakout. So continue to trend. Yeah, I might want to gravitate towards that put wall, which is at 4/4s. We haven't tested a call or put wall in a while this week. Right here. Might want to come into this area if it breaks out. Yeah, they're gonna squeeze me out. I don't know why it's doing the wrong time. Like a 7-minute lag on this. Let's see. Is it? If we look at the time, what time is it right now? 7:57. What does this chart show? 7:50. It shows the right time. But then why did IB form here at 7:33? It says 7. See, I'm so confused right now. The time is right. Right now it's saying it's 7:57, which is correct. But then the IB forms at 7:30. And it says that's at. That doesn't make any sense. So confused. I have to figure this out. The IB, for some reason, today at least, formed incorrectly. And I don't know why. I'll figure it out. Anyway, this is likely to stop me out. They're probably going to 40s where that put wall is right there. I'm gonna get stopped out here short. This is 30 area. There was sellers there on, I think it was Monday. If you go to Monday's stream, I think it was where they showed up. I'm not sure they're still there today. I'm just leaning on that area right now. See if it holds, but if not, then let's see. I think it was, yeah, right here. Sellers hit the tape. What day was it? May 18th. What's that, like Monday? Yeah, Monday. Okay. On Monday, they hit the tape at this area. But right now, I don't see any sellers. It's just a grind up. So, might want to hit that put wall. We haven't hit a gamma level since last week. So this would be the first time we actually trade into a gamma level. We'll see if that ends up happening today. New 2-hour print just started here, 8 o'clock. So I gotta take a call. I put the phone on my ear and I forgot I had an AirPod. Yeah, here comes this stop loss. This is probably my only trade for the day here. Oh, I took 1 hour already earlier on the front run of the IB failed breakout, and then this one here. I guess I could have taken profits for the 10-point area. They gave me 2 chances to do it. I was just too hard-headed, I guess, because they held pretty firm. Volume was there. I mean, the profile showed the volume. I shared it on stream twice. How volume was forming above the 415 or the 410s near the prior day high, and I just ignored it. Oh well. A lesson learned for a review today. Because I could have sized it down a little bit, mitigated some of the loss. But it is what it is, man. We trade and we learn. Yeah, we'll see. I'm almost gonna stop down there like a couple points away, see if they fade and somehow they just revert it back. Would be kind of nuts, but I've seen crazier shit happen. We'll see. We'll see. The question into the rest of the day for me is are they going to hold the 410 area, right? The bull breakout area, so to speak. So into the rest of the session and see if they can manage to hold above here, right? Where they formed the point of control right now, 417. They need to hold here into the rest of the session. They do, it's pretty bullish. Good reference into the next session for continuation higher. I'm back at a pee. We got a few votes. Thanks for participating in the poll. I'm pretty surprised. Nobody uses Sierra chart. Rating View, Jigsaw, and Trade of 8 seems to be the 3 popular ones. I'm sure there's maybe others I didn't list. Oh. All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure everyone has an opinion on this. NVIDIA ER reaction. I don't care about the numbers. Good, bad, Because the numbers sometimes don't even matter to they do the earnings reports. What do you guys think? It's good, bad, or neutral today at the bell? It's today, right? Good. Foreign minister says negotiations with US are ongoing through Pakistan. Okay. This whole fucking Iran shit is so confusing. Lines are go both ways. I really don't even know what the fuck is going on. Are you a Dalton student? No, man. I never read a Dalton book or anything. Or just markets and profile, but no, not necessarily, I would say. I guess, I mean, if I use the principles but I don't listen to his videos or material, I still, I guess, a student in some way, right? So whether directly or indirectly, so let's just say yeah. Think simple. I use market profile context driven data to make decisions for trading? Yes. So therefore, I guess I am. Just to keep things simple. I just personally like never have listened to any of his videos. I know he has some videos. Only one book that I read from him. But yeah. I'd like to do a one-on-one session with you, but let me know how much it would cost for an hour time. I'll be happy. Oh, okay. Okay. Back. Subscribe to Sierra. Just email me here. Give me an email. We can discuss. It just depends what you want. Like I can make it simple. You know, you don't have to maybe even sit with me. You might just we can share templates or something. I don't know. It just depends what your workflow or workspace you want it to look like. If you can give me like a brief email with what you would like your workspace to look like for Sierra, that'll give me a good insight as to how long that would take, or if at all. You gotta help prepare for it. Give me some context and then you can figure it out. The tape's dead. What happened? Yeah, right. I broke out. Looks like there must have been some news. Might be that is it this tweet or what? But anyway, but before this, like you guys saw, the tape just stopped. It just died right before this move. Let's see. Um, how much do you for Sierra? I think it's 59, 56. 6 a month. Yeah, the target area, they're about to approach the bull target area right here. There. I'm sure there's got to be a headline flag. Yeah, they hit the 460. Yeah, they did. 460, and then they have value high from 461 is the value high. Tagged it perfectly. Offer. I don't know what we kind of stalled out right there for a few minutes. Or a headline hit, I'm assuming. 2 votes. Oops. Oh, what? Why? Really? What are things that happen? Coconut water. Oh, really? Oh. Oh, there's the headline. U.S. in final stages. Talks about it. A little late. Potatoes too? Is it potatoes? Huh. Oh, that's another one, yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, just email me and give some like a brief email about what you're looking for. Not bad. That's just better than. Would this be better than Pedialyte then? Right? Because it has a lot more. Yeah, it's why even get Pedialyte then? Makes no sense. Because it seems like it has a lot better and it costs the same. The put wall looks like it's acting as somewhat of a wall, but I wouldn't definitely not want to fade this. Momentum. Sodium to glucose. That's sugar and salt, right? Because of the balance. The headline, it was the one right there on the newswire next to my head. It's I have a newswire right next to my head, so it's right there. Have I been to Texas? No, I've never been to Texas. Is that where you live? $35s hold. Okay. You know, they might fade this whole move, honestly. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if that good news is just, I wouldn't say it's priced in, but it starts to become one of those things where the positive news doesn't get a reaction anymore. Like that headline was to do with the Iran war. Because this is the first time it's spiked, and we haven't faded the whole move, but if it ends up fading all the way back down to 400s, that's kind of a tell. More traders like you nearby. Yeah, I feel, man. Kind of long time ago. Sir, Mr. Pice. Yeah, I live in California. I guess that's why the live streams kind of help in some way, right? Thirty more minutes. Testing 35s from below. I was here. Oh, you were here a long time ago? Cool. Well, welcome back, sir. Below the call wall. The call wall ended up being some resistance in this little spike so far. If it ends up being anything. We might just glue to it. If the price wants to trend, it might just glue into that call wall. The rest of the session. Typically what's happened is that they will hit a call or a put wall and they'll kind of glue to it for the rest of the session. Just kind of trade around it. Above, below, above, below. We'll see if that ends up happening. We're deviated pretty far away from all the standard deviations. We do fade. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to the 410s. Kind of like where we broke out. So again, the target was here. It hit it almost exactly to the tick. And then all the bulls got to do now is just defend this area, right? 412 area. Kind of hold that line on dips to continue to break out. Do you have a problem? No? I never have actually. Freezes. To be honest, like I'm actually impressed by how um little data it uses on a computer. Check this out. So if you go to Task Manager, it's where is it? Sierra uses very little memory and RAM and CPU. Very efficient system. A very efficient system, so it's actually never freezes on me. It uses less than Chrome. And well, of course Chrome uses a lot, but less than Thinkorswim. It uses less than Jigsaw, and all I have open on Jigsaw is one DOM, and it uses less than that. So it's a very efficient system. It's really great. Jigsaw uses more. Think about that. It's just like all it's doing is running one DOM on it. Oh, no, not necessarily. It's pretty clean data that I've gotten from it. Do you ever hold trades overnight? Yeah, I do. If not, do you ever close every day based on day? Yeah, definitely. Continuation moves, I do. I hold them. If I like continuation legs for longs, I certainly will hold a position from one day to the next. Never a full position. I don't think I've ever done that. But I will scale and I'll hold a small position. Freezes when I trade NQ. Check out your task manager. See if you're overloading your computer. You may have too much memory running. You might be maxing out your computer. Maybe check where you're at. Because when big moves like that happen, usually there's a spike in memory usage for a brief period of time. Maybe 2 days, too many days to load. It shouldn't have a problem. I think I have. Let's see. Yeah, I have 180 on this one. Could be. You maybe if it's a smaller time frame, maybe just have less days loaded. I have 180 on these charts. Let's see what this one has. 160. So I have a small amount. I have two other sub instances where these sub instances have way more data. Oops. Come on, go away. Oh, it did freeze. Look at that. So maybe it does if you have too much data. Look, this one it's freezing on me, and it has. Let's see. This one has, I think, 3 years. 750 days, so about 2 years. So maybe if you do have too many days loaded, do you use Tenton? Yeah, I have Tenton routing. Tenton routing for Denali feed. It's Sierra. So yeah, it probably is the too many days loaded. I just pulled up a sub instance that I have. This one, and it just froze for me for a second. So it may be that. Too many days loaded. I have 180 on all of them. I think 60 on one and then 180 on that might be the issue. But yeah, swing trading, Matt. Yes, definitely. AMP, yes, AMP. EQG data feed through AMP. So is it? I mean, I took 2 L's. The idea was we were potentially going to be neutral. The broker is AMP, AMP, yes. For the data feed. The neutral day, meaning fade the extremes, and I was wrong. I took 2 L's, you know. Neutral day, based on historical data I had, but the data was incorrect, or at least it did not work out in this instance. You know, trading is about instances over time, so maybe this was one of those anomalies where the instance was not correct, but the context was balanced. Going into the overnight inventory was balanced. The setup, there's no primary setups outside of just the IBL failed breakdown. Again, we never came down to IB. So I could have traded it differently, meaning just not even traded anything until the IBL traded, and if it didn't trade, then there would have been no trade and I wouldn't have gotten any losses or any trades for that matter. This was the only ARM setup for the day, right? This ARM setup was the only one. These were all references, but not armed, meaning not valid for the day. So think today would have been best if I just did not trade at all. So, yeah, well, I tried the trade. Even when I did take it, on the second setup, the market told me to take profit at 15s. We're holding there. They gave me a few tries to take profit. They gave me like 2 or 3 attempts, and I didn't do it. So that was another mistake on my end for today. So 2 things to journal. If I did take a fade of the entry, just taking profits at respected areas of structure as opposed to holding for bigger moves, I was in profit by like a little over 10 points. I think like 12, and I didn't scale. I normally will scale at 10 points or so on most trades. Your fee. So there's a little recap for the day. I got a little sector heat map. Let's refresh it here. Week over week, cybersecurity, energy, drone, airlines, nuclear's underperforming, robotics. What's good month over month? Cybersecurity. Well, cybersecurity seems to be a huge theme here the last month. Semis, of course. The laggers are travel. Makes sense because of oil. Industrials make sense because of oil. Financials, not sure why that is. The main sectors revolve around AI pretty much. Oh, good to know. Oh. Let's see. That question. Good one. Is it a diuretic or why? Yeah. Oh. You just recently started ordering it because of why again? Hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're holding 35 so far. Continuation higher. I mean, we remain green on the breadth, meaning the sector rotations there. They're all green on the day. And then the internals are also green, so pretty much a bullish outcome day. I guess I should have validated or confirmed the general trend with the internals. That kind of would have given me a better setup for the day. Context intraday. What I find interesting is that at USD. What I find interesting is that USA GDP. Yeah, but that spread's been like that for years. You know, like you go back to 2016 to 2019, that spread was like that, and then eventually the Chinese stocks ended up ripping at some point when e-commerce became a huge thematic theme. So it just happens a lot with China as well. It's happened before. You can go back to 2016 to 2019, and you had the same theme where their GDP was high and their markets were suppressed in valuations. And then eventually it catches up, momentum kicks in, probably because fund managers start getting positioning in there and it gets everyone else excited. So from a swing trade perspective, like K-Web or just general tech companies in China, like Weibio used to be a huge stock from China. So was Alibaba, Baidu, NetEase. Those were all high flyers from the Chinese stock market a few years back, and then they just died. They died, and then it just recently came back, only a few. And I'm sure they'll have another run. I think Neo too. I don't think figures can be correct. And when I think that a lot of the time, like the markets price in a lot more perspective than they do fundamentals. You know, and it's kind of what we have here right now with the GDP to stock market ratio, right? It's like 100% or 150. I don't recall the ratio exactly, but it's deeply rich, let's just say. But then the question is, like, does AI catch up in the next year or two? And then that ratio becomes non-existent, right? Like, does all the capex and everything that's being put into, that's keeping GDP up right now, does that actually make a monumental impact on the GDP in, say, another year or two, and then GDP catches up? Like, is it just lagging because the GDP is slower and the market is just front running all that? We don't know, right? We don't know. We can't quantify that because this is the first time it's ever happened. So it's a hard thing. It's like chicken and the egg, right? I don't think betting against the market is going to be smart. Very difficult. It's not going to be the correct approach. And then not being positioned or having exposure to the stock market is also not very smart. So it's more of an environment of like, you're not fully leveraged, and then also maybe swing trading isn't the ideal setup in case there's a correction. You just had a 10% dip. So it's just like, it's just for swing trading, you know, knowing you're buying at a good valuation is definitely not, you don't have any comfort in that for swing trading stocks individually or the index. But if you bought 2 years ago or 3 or 4 years ago and your cost basis is cheap, there's no reason to be selling. So it's all relative to positioning. You know, I have stocks that I've owned for a few years, and I just held them. So it just depends on like where you're using the info for with that GDP ratio. I've seen that thing tossed around many times before, and it doesn't always work out very well if you're shorting with that in mind. It's more of like a reduced exposure kind of environment, but not reduce positioning completely. I think I heard the same. I had the same commentary back in 2018, 2019 when I started trading. I think I saw the same headline get tossed around, the GDP ratio, during the whole e-commerce boom with Amazon, Netflix, Google, Facebook. We're in like the same boat, same environment. Yeah, energy supplies, yeah. I mean, that's why they're making so many huge strides towards it. So, I don't know. It's a big question that cannot be answered very simply. Yeah, pretty much like no one can guarantee. Thoughts of a German? Okay, cool. It says U.S. in final stages of Iran negotiations. That's an old headline. I guess I can't use Sierra. What kind of Mac do you have? You can run a you can run a parallel if you really wanted to. I don't think Jigsaw's even on Sierra as well. You can do parallels. I'm not sure if you know what that is. Let me see. Google. So, what parallel? I mean, I don't know if you want to even go this route, but there might be a free alternative because it is paid. But you can run Windows 11 on Apple Silicon. You just got to make sure that you have enough RAM to allocate for it, because you'll have to essentially run a second computer on your Mac. You know. So, oh, it's 69 a year. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, about lag. Yeah, that's the thing, is like the allocation of data, how much RAM you have, and how much you'll allocate. So that's the only thing I can consider. I don't know if that's going to be viable. Yeah, I can't really give my perspective on that because I've never used Parallels. I don't know how good it is or if there'll be any lag. All right. Do you use Hyro for gamma levels? What's Hyro? No, I don't. I don't use Hyro. I get it. So Let me explain. Let me look up what Hyro is first, because I'm curious. Hyro, what's that? Hyro Gamma? Let me see. Oh, Spot Gamma? No, I don't use them. I pay for the so I create them with a Python script. I have a Python script that runs the data. I do have access to their massive. Their massive is the data that I get. So I have the options package that I use, and then the options data that I have access to, their API. I run a Python script that generates the call and put walls. So it's pretty much self-generated with raw data that I have. So I have weekly ones here for NQ and ES, and then I have the 0-day ones that get posted every day on X and on my chart. Yeah, call walls right there, 44 seems to be like the little zone we're gonna be chopping around the rest of the day. And then where's the call wall on the weekly? The 7456, which is pretty much near the high of the day. And then 7550, which is the next one up. This is above the prior all-time high. Are these updated in real time? They're updated whenever I want them. So they can be, yeah. They're updated every day pre-market. 3 minutes into the open. And then weekly, they're updated for me, typically pre-market as well. For the weekly options premiums. And then I have, but I don't update them throughout the day. I just update them once, maybe twice, depending if we have a large gap. If we gap up, have a large gap up or gap down, I will refresh them after like 30 minutes of the open. And I do not refresh them after that. I just kind of keep them static, because I've noticed over using them over a period of time that refreshing them 3 times a day, which is what I was doing before, it does not lead to accurate zones of interest or levels. You pay for that? Yeah, I do pay for that. Pay for the data feed, and then the Python script is just the code. So yeah, the gamma levels are generated through my own data that I have access to. I pay for, and I share them on Twitter for free. The only ones that are not posted there are the weekly ones. How much? I think it's $29 a month, $29 USD for the data. And then I have a script that pulls the raw numbers and then puts them into my Sierra chart automatically. All I need to do is just refresh the chart, and it plots them on there. I have other scripts that I pull using that data, like the expected move for the week, as well for the S&P and NQ and things like that. How much delta market makers are long or net short delta on a monthly basis. So like OPEX expiration. And a couple other reports that I pull. I give you a present for free? What? So it's just a lot of data that I have access to, and I just try to get as much context, as much as I can gather from the options market. It really is good. It helps a lot. Like when the at the money gets this level here, this one, when it's below 1 billion, it means market can free flow and trend. When this GEX level goes between 2 to 3 billion, then market's mean reverting kind of balanced. And then when it's red, which is where we were in March, it's all the pops get sold and faded into getting a little bit of a momentum move here on the DOM. Not sure if it's news oriented. I'm willing to try here. Just because it's near that gamma, near that put wall. And I'll take it for only a small scalp into the first standard deviation. And then we'll hold one lot for priority high. Small size, just 3 lots. I'm not really willing to risk something that not really a structural trade for me. Just momentum based on the tape kicking in, plus the fact that we have some reaction off the call wall. A retest of the first standard deviation seems okay. Check it out. The spot gamma. I'll look it up. I'll look it up today. See what it is. There's a lot of different services that provide it. Check it out, trader. Trade like a dealer for option. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. I gotta bounce. It was nice chatting with you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I took 2 L's today. We're gonna take this trade again. Call wall, momentum on tape, whether it works out or not. Small risk, 161. Still green overall in the week and day. I did take an overnight trade that was green, so it's not really down 500. I'm down through 312 because I was up 200 coming into the session. I have another account that's up 252. So it'll be okay if I take this additional loss. My max risk per day is about 700 a day. So this would kind of keep it within that period. 700 per account. I don't trade both accounts at the same time. Just varies on the day and setup. I'll let this trade play out for a second. I'll be right back in a minute. All right. Looks like we're just kind of paused here. Let's see if this fades out. Again, just targeting the first standard deviation. Let's see, where's the... So great questions overall, Mr. Pice. I think the general theme here for the stream is just to provide value, right? It's like I have a bunch of data that I provide on the stream, on Twitter, for the gamma levels, for free. So if you guys, you know, I pay for the data, which is totally fine. I don't really care. I use it anyway. Why not share it, right? And so, and if you find it useful, cool. If not, then, you know, that's fine too. Yeah, tape is pretty dead. I'm not sure if we're just gonna chop around. Again, normally when this happens, what I've noticed is we'll just kind of chop around the call wall for the rest of the session. And this ends up being kind of the range into the afternoon. So this might not even pay me, but we're looking to trade into the first standard deviation. We've pretty an extreme move up on some news. The newswire caught it a little late, but just a reversion back to the prior higher low 35s. But yeah, that'll be it. I'm gonna call it a stream here. I'm kind of tomorrow, guys. Our faces don't belong here. Okay, cool. Have a good day, rest of your day, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.